New developments on the southern border tonight. It's becoming obvious that open borders are, in effect, the official policy of the Biden administration. Axios reports tonight that approximately 50,000 migrants caught crossing the southern border have been released into our country without a court date. Now, technically, those migrants have been instructed to report to ICE offices, but they don't. Studies show only about 10% of them have done. Probably fewer than that will. An immigration official just told this show that this is now standard operating procedure. So you get caught crossing the border, not just from Mexico or Honduras or Guatemala, but maybe from across the ocean, maybe from the Middle East, from Africa, from the Caribbean. And you're told to show up at an ICE office wherever you choose to settle. And according to two whistleblowers from Joe Biden's HHS, many of these migrants are infected with COVID-19. Quote, hundreds of children contracted COVID in the overcrowded conditions in the migrant shelters. The whistleblower said in a new federal complaint. Adequate masks were not consistently provided to children, nor was their use consistently enforced. Think about that. Your kindergartner is going to be forced to wear a mask because the teachers' unions are in charge of the Biden administration's health policy. But illegal migrants with COVID don't have to wear masks. How does that work? Well, because they're future Democratic Party voters. They can do what they want. And we know the Biden administration is not even bothering to figure out where they're going. This is one of the great scandals of our age, and no one is stopping it. We went down to the border town of Uvalde, Texas for a brand new episode of our documentary series. It's called Tucker Carlson Originals. The documentary is called The Illegal Invasion, and it's a look at why so many illegal aliens are flooding the border and what they've done to the people who live there. Here's a look at what we found. Joe Biden took office in January of 2021. One of the very first things he did was deliberately provoke what may be the largest surge in illegal immigration in American history.
Nobody is going to be deported in my first 100 days.
Foreign nationals from around the world, from the Congo to Haiti to Honduras and Guatemala and El Salvador to the Middle East, all heard Joe Biden's call.
¿De dónde son?
Ghana.
Ghana. You're from Ghana.
In the first 6 months of the Biden presidency, nearly 1 million foreign nationals arrived in this country. They came up through Mexico. What is life like for the Americans who live along the Mexican border? We thought we'd find out.
In the last 6 months, it's become the wild, wild west.
Don McLaughlin is the mayor of Uvalde, Texas. Uvalde is about 60 miles from the Mexican border. We interviewed him earlier this year, and when we did, he invited us to come visit him in Uvalde. We took him up on the offer. This is what we found. The mass arrival of foreign nationals into this small Texas town has made life miserable for the people who live there.
This has become a third world country.
Weston Robertson lives on 22 acres near the railroad tracks.
I carry a firearm 24 hours a day out here all the time. Even my mother, who is elderly, will not even leave the house, go outside to water flowers without her personally carrying a firearm.
If you live on the edge of town and you're out in your yard, chances are you've got a shotgun or a pistol out there with you. And it shouldn't be that way.
But it is that way. Uvalde residents watch helplessly as Central Americans, Haitians, even people from Africa cross their fields, break into their sheds, and camp on their land.
They're coming into these cars and spending the night. There's food packets from where they're sitting in here eating.
Since the new administration took office, the federal government is no longer willing to enforce existing immigration law. Americans living in Uvalde have no option but to defend themselves.
I cannot even go from my house to my barn or to our chicken coop or anywhere without carrying a gun. I don't even leave my house without it.
This woman spoke on the condition of anonymity. She fears retaliation from the Mexican cartels, which she says are operating in Uvalde.
I came out one day, had 4 men running directly at my house, where one tried to break into our house while I was here.
Our crime's up, our car break-ins are up, our house burglaries are up.
It seems like we just don't have as many rights as even the illegals do. You know, I will defend my house if I had to. You can watch a full episode of that. It's called The Illegal Invasion. It hits FoxNation.com tomorrow morning.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.